Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to the MVM Show. I'm Titus, and we're going to go into this year's, the 2024 Delta Waterfowl Hunt Annual. And we do this every year. I think this is probably like the third or fourth year, and I'm back solo again. It was nice having Travis and Thomas on. I don't really try to bug them too much anymore to get them on, but every time they're on, it is fun. We have a lot of laughs and a good time, so at least Travis is always laughing in the background at me and Thomas half the time. So, but it's good, and we always have good conversation to talk about. There will be plenty more to come up with us three on there because we got some trips planned, and we're going to be doing a lot of driving, a lot of traveling, and doing a lot of chit chatting and sharing our experiences because I kind of thought it was redundant to talk about our hunts when there's videos of it, but to be honest with you, a video only shows 15 minutes of like the best clips or the highlights that I think are worth putting in there, right? Whereas the conversation about the hunt and the walkthrough of it is more detailed and has a lot more things that you just don't get in the in the actual movies. So it's really nice, and it's kind of like when you read a book versus watching a movie. It's like you just get more details in it. The book always seems better. So I feel like you guys have really ate up those like hunt reviews where we go back over them. And unfortunately, I mean, if I have time, I might do some of last year that we didn't do, which it's just because by the end of duck season, and then with that, when I was starting the new job last year, it was just kind of hectic, and it was like my focus was on that. But now we're back to normal and things have settled in. I've settled in. And so can't wait. I think I already told Thomas last year, I said, I'm going to be more stoked and chomping at the bit for this season to start because I didn't really get the last month and a half of the season last year. So, which people say, oh, you didn't miss much. But it's like, well, duck season's duck season. I don't like base off my enjoyment of it, whether it's really good or really bad. I mean, yeah, I want to go out and see a lot of birds, but like, I still want to go, whether there's birds or not that are just abundant, right? Because I feel like I can still get on birds, whether everybody else is saying it's not that good. You know what I mean? So, anyways, now I'm back out there. Will be back out there as much as I possibly can, much as my job allows me. But we're going to go over some of the things in this Delta Waterfowl Hunt Annual that they kind of do as their picks. It's not really just their top. I don't know if that's how they do it, if it's their top picks, or if it's just the newer items that have come out, which I think it's kind of sponsored too. I think part of it's the sponsored people that get the highlights, and because a lot of this stuff has been around for a while, but it's probably their pick. So I'm going to add some stuff that's not in here, but I'll try to just go over what is in this. Before we get started, just remember the warranty did change with the Muller chokes because way too many people took advantage of it just to use it for like an opener or just to use it for hunts with the whole intention of always sending it back. I'm sure someone said, well, how do you know those people, $30,000 worth of customers, didn't like the choke or didn't pattern well? I don't believe that for 1 second. I really don't. There's just no way. And to solidify the truth of this being people that just wanted to take advantage of it, Jimmy Muller called all those customers, every single one of them. And now you think, well, my goodness, how many customers is that? Well, the chokes aren't cheap. So, I mean, it depends. If they bought 2 or 3 chokes, I mean, you're sitting at a decent amount there. So I don't know. Anyways, if they, okay, so I'm sure there's a percentage of people that didn't like it. I'm sure there is. I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not saying it's going to work for everybody. Even if this Browning A5 is different than this Browning A5, you know what I'm saying? They're both, even though it's the same gun made in the same year, maybe by the same manufacturer, the barrel, everything about it's just going to be a little different. So if there's people that don't like them, hey, more power to you. You might like Carlson's better. You might like, and that's totally fine. Because the thing is, I've always said, whatever works for you, use it. I ain't trying to talk nobody into doing it. I just want you to try it. But because now this warranty is changed, just if you're looking for something and you want something and you want to see if you can get it better, I would definitely highly suggest Miller Chokes. But I don't want, if you're just so dialed and you feel like there's nothing better, I mean, stay with what you got. That's how I believe. There's things I've got that they're just, nothing's better than I've tried the other things, and it's like, this is what works. So anyways, but if you are interested, duck season's upon us. Some places it's already started, some are in the middle of a split, some haven't started yet but are about to. You can put in the code at millerchokes.com, put in MVM 2024, all one word, all caps, and you'll get 10% off on your order. So we'll get started right now. So like I said, I'm not going to do everything, but one of the things that we'll start with here is the Rig 'em Right. That's new in this magazine. And actually, I guess I'll just hold this up because that's what I always do with these for a thumbnail, I guess. But this is the Rig 'em Right shell pouch. It's actually a pretty good size. Like, it looks like it could probably hold 2 or 3 boxes, and it's very sturdy. It's made out of canvas. It's got a built-in loop that you can hang. And what it's cool is it's a roll top, so you could roll it and then clip it in. And now actually Heavy Shot, and I don't feel like getting up to go grab it, but Heavy Shot came out with a really nice shell pouch. It's bigger than the one I had before. It's pretty big. Like, you could probably stick 2 boxes of shells in there, like if you dumped them in there, or even if you put the box in. And it's canvas as well, like waxed canvas. And it has a zipper top with a good handle. So I kind of like that one better, but I honestly like this Rig 'em Right one's pretty sick too. They got some Sound Gear Phantoms. Hearing protection. I have Tetras, the Waterfowl version. I think they're the Alpha Waterfowl or something like that. I can't remember. Someone was asking me the other day, but I can't remember exactly. And to be honest with you, they fit in good. They're comfortable, and it doesn't jack up your calling that bad. That was the thing I've always not liked about hearing protection, which is, I feel bad saying that because I don't want to be a bad example to anybody listening to this. But it's I struggle with it. But I will tell you this. From years of flying helicopters, from years of shooting guns without hearing protection, for years of playing the drums, for years of being with loud music or headphones or in loud music, my ears are done. And I'm 40 years old. You know, it's like, I'm so irritated that I didn't take better care, but it's too late. It's too late to fix what's messed up, but it's not too late to start protecting them now. So I have been wearing more ear protection than I ever have when I hunt. And what I've noticed, when it starts hurting, it hurts bad. Like a gunshot would hurt and it'd be like, oh man, that was loud. Now it actually hurts, and I've found myself having headaches for the rest of the day after a morning hunt. And I never used to have that. Not a good sign, but it's like, it's a different headache. I can't explain it to you, almost like a concussion headache, because I've had like 3 concussions from football and what else? There was I'm not sure if I had a concussion on that one helicopter crash. I feel like I did, but I had a helmet on, so I don't know. But anyways, the headaches that I get from shooting now is odd feeling, if that makes sense. I don't even know how to explain it, because I'm not a guy that gets headaches a lot, but normally when I get headaches, it's like on the temple, right? Like on the outside, you can kind of rub your temples, like, it kind of relieves pressure. These feel like it's in the middle of my brain. It's not funny either, because I mean, it feels weird. I don't know how to explain it to you. It's the weirdest headaches I've ever had, and they seem like they just started last year. So, speaking of ear and protection, I got the ones the military gave me. I still have a huge bag of those. I always like those, how they fit and they're comfortable and they don't make your ears sore and they fit right in. I've seen some guys wear the fitted ones. That's the ones I'd really like to have, because I had those in the military for flying. They were like the fitted gel ones. They squeeze in and then fit them to you. But I guess I need to pay the money. I need to stop saying they're expensive, and I should do those. But like I said, the Tetras for the calling is about as close as I can get as a normal sound calling while you have a hearing protection in. So anyways, they have the Hunt Stand app, which looks a little more detailed than Onyx in a weird way. I've never had it, never looked. I'm just looking at the app here, but it looks pretty, kind of looks pretty cool, honestly. Um, the analysis of the wind and weather is available for up to 72 hours in advance, helping you optimize your decoy setups and blind placements. So I think it's just like a little bit more picturesque, if that makes sense. Like it shows a little bit more legends to maybe help you think about it a little more. So it looks pretty cool. I've never used it. Onyx, like I said, Onyx is on here. If you need an app that really helps you, I mean, when I started using Google Maps, oh my word, it was a game changer because we used to get lost out there. I ain't gonna lie. When we'd go to refuges we hadn't been to, or even ones we had, and it was a foggy day, and you missed your turn, we'd be like, "Where are we?" And I'm telling you, that was before I ever had used Google Maps to look where I'm at and use it. So technology has definitely come a long ways. You can definitely save time, not stop going by memory and maybe taking the long route. It might help you take the shorter route. It puts you right on the X. That's why it's called on X, because wherever you want to go to that you've been before, it'll take you right there. You can track. I use that when we're in the boat. Like if we're going somewhere unfamiliar, we track our way in so we can take the same track out if it's the safest, tracking the best route to a pond. Maybe you got some nasty mud and you found a way that's kind of firm. You can track. I mean, you can literally rewalk the same steps. Like you zoom in enough on there, you can walk right over where you walked. Another cool feature is I'm gonna have a rangefinder in my blind bag. I say blind bag. I'm use that Kuiu backpack because it's waterproof and fully submersible. And I love it. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I do, but now it's like I kind of don't want to ever go without it. But I'll have my rangefinder in there, and so let's say you're scouting and you're glassing, and man, you find this pocket of birds, this one pond, right? And there's 9 other ponds around it. And you have Onyx open and you have your rangefinder before you just kind of look at Google Earth and you're like, okay, I think that's the pond. I think that's the one. Let's see. Okay, look at that one. And you would mark it. And I've actually ended up, let's say if it's half a mile away or if it's however far away, you're like, man, that's so far. It's just kind of a guess. You don't even have to guess anymore. You can take a rangefinder, range the distance, and say, okay, it's like 700 yards and that exact pond. Now you can get that app and it has a range. It has the range on it. And so you can dial it in to get that exact spot in that pond because you had 700 yards, you knew this was 700 yards and you knew that was the exact pond. So, or measuring it, like, okay, you see a spot you want to go and you're looking on the map and you're like, okay, how far is it from where I parked my truck to there? So there's so many features, it's insane, and they keep making it better all the time. I recently listened to a podcast that they were talking about all the new features they've added this year. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but it was actually pretty crazy. So that is definitely would be on my pick too. And you can do offline maps, so preload everything and be able to zoom in and get right where you are, because if not, it won't load. It's blurry and it's not going to help you much. But the offline maps, if you know you're going to an area where there's no service, that is the ticket, man. I have so many uploaded or downloaded offline maps, it's not even funny. So check that out. A little slurp of the coffee. They got a game cam on here. More sound protection. Not gonna really. Okay, another thing on this page is the Bandit's on the fly backpack, they call it. I believe it looks like it holds decoys. Actually, I shouldn't have brought this up because I was bringing this up because I thought it could hold some decoys, but honestly, I don't think that's what they made it for. It's a waterproof main compartment, handy pockets, zippered sunglass case, internal pockets. So yeah, it's just a backpack, I guess. I was thinking that was going to be like a type of decoy backpack, but it's not. So, all right, moving on. Blinds. So to me, I know everybody has their preference and you kind of want to go off of comfort too. But to me, one of my favorite looking blinds on this page is the Rig 'em Right Extreme Gilly. And I've always seen like they're sold out a lot. But it can basically go into backpack. I I like the material that Rig and Right uses, and Tangle Free. Tangle Free actually has a blanket that looks just like this, but it's a blanket, meaning it's that real floppy material that's all shredded up and cut up. To me, I feel like you could almost do that and not even brush up like you do have to do these other blinds, I think. But I guess it depends, what type of field you're in. But if you were in a cornfield with this Rig and Right one or that Tangle Free one I've seen, the blanket, because the blanket has all that dangly stuff all over it and all the material shredded and cut up, but then it has like a vent where you can lay and look through it as you're laying there. I think the blanket's pretty sick, because if you wanted like a quick deal to just, oh man, there's geese out here, let's just go around here, lay on the ground, we don't have time to set up, maybe you'll flush them out and lay down on that blanket or under the blanket, and they'll start coming in. Hey, it works. Like, it's better than not being able to, get them. So I think that one's pretty sick though. It's got zip. It just shows the picture, but it does look like it goes with the zipper all the way around it. So I don't know if that's for storage or if that's for when you close it up and hike it out, but it looks sick. The other ones are just the other brands that they have, but I'm not really too, like I said on the last podcast, I want to get burlap. And actually I reached out to Kirk McCullough and I said, hey, where'd you get that burlap at? And he actually said he got it from Walmart, and then he stained it and then spray painted like different colors on it to get the look he wanted. And I thought that's actually pretty sick. So I think that might just be what I do. I might just go to Walmart. It's probably gonna be the cheapest, and then spray stain it. Like, I could put it in a little can and spray the stain to get that darker color or lighter color that I want, and then spray like different patterns of paint on there. It's like, why spend extra money to get the camo pattern when you can just do it yourself? So, because I have a bunch of spare paint cans laying around. But anyways, when he covered his boat up in that little short 1-minute video he put on his YouTube page, Kirk McCullough, I was like, okay, that looks so good. Like, and that's what I want to be able to do, even though our boat's camo or gonna be camo. It just still doesn't blend that good in my opinion. So I want to be able to, even if we park it downriver of us or down wherever we're hunting, put it, 300-400 yards away, I want to still just cover it up. That's kind of, I feel like it was laziness to not do that. So I this year is the year that I'm going to get that done. So there's some other ones, the netting ones. I don't like those because I feel like they hang up on everything. I've used those. Or another thing that I want that burlap for is to put over our sleds, so we can keep the sled close to us and just throw that over top instead of breaking toolies or anything. The cover that we have, the natural environment, and just breaking it down, ruining it for one hunt. And that's what ruins a lot of toolie patches out hunting, is people are constantly breaking those down for every single hunt. I mean, by the end of the season, there's not a patch of toolies to hide in because people break them down so bad. It's like, let's take care of this, because you might be out here again. If you don't care about the next guy, think about yourself a month down the road. Let's just keep the natural hide up as best we can. I mean, I know we got to do some things sometimes, but let's try to protect it. But anyways, the other ones with the netting, it's just, to me, it hangs up on everything and it kind of drives me nuts. They got some boats on here. You got the Excel boat with the outboard on it. It just looks really sick. And I would say, people are always asking about service drives, or do I really need one? I would tell you, I don't feel like you always do. But when you need a service drive, you need a service drive. Like, your outboard's not going to get you there. But it's more often than not that I don't technically really need it. So it's multi-purpose. So it's nice having a boat that you can do either or. Whereas just an outboard, you're like, oh man, I'm just not gonna be able to get in that area. Or if you have like a long tail, I mean, that's it works. You got to do what you got to do. And for some people's environments, that's what they need, and that's what works best. So anyways, all right, not much to say on that. There's a couple things here, not too interested really in, to be honest with you. Lacrosse is still putting out sweet waders that are still the old school. Well, here we go again, where I can't think. I'm just looking at them. Sorry, I don't know why my brain's not. Actually, I don't even know if that's the right ones I'm looking at. Okay, yeah. So it's women's waders, but it's the old school wader. Oh my word! It's not the non-insulated. It's the kind, the kind that you used to wear. Oh my word. Like surfers wear those kind of waders, the material. Oh, you don't know how bad I hate that. See, that's what happens when you shake your brain around too much. Can't remember common words. And then you drive your listeners nuts because they're all screaming, "It's this!" Gunner, shout out to you for always texting me or telling me words I'm missing that I can't remember. Oh, you guys have no clue how much that bugs me. I'm telling you, I truly believe it's from having too many concussions. I really do. Someone's like, "Oh, it's old age." I was like, I've been doing that since I was like 20. It's not old age. I would love to blame it on old age, but I know it's not. That's the problem. That's going to drive me nuts. Forget it. Okay, move on. I want to know, and I want to say it so bad, and I cannot think of it. And when it comes to my mind, I will. So moving on to calls. I've heard a lot of good things about Rolling Thunder. They actually have one right here. It says the Levy Cut. I've heard, and I'll tell you what, when I was at the Delta Waterfowl show last year, man, that Rolling Thunder booth, man, there were some ducks coming from that thing, man. I could tell you right now, it sounded so good. The guys, not only the guys that were calling, but the calls sounded amazing. So I would like to get a Rolling Thunder call and try them out. But this one's a Levy Cut, so I don't know. I might not like that one, specifically, but this call was designed by 3-time world cut down duck calling champion Drake Levy. Okay, that's why it's called the Levy Cut. I thought it was just like a levy, But it says the friction cut round hole cut down features a straight walled barrel insert, creating extremely high top end volume that transitions easily into raspy natural quacks and finishing chatter. So I really like my Mondo short. That's what it is. Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. It's over there. Yeah. The R&T Mondo short. Man, thing's ducky. Oh, it's so ducky. But you know what's so funny? It's amazing how similar the JJ Lair's T1 regular bore with the 1.370 is so much like a cut down, it's not even funny. If you can blow a T1 with a 370 read in it, I'm telling you right now, you can blow a cut down. The air exchange it is easier to blow a T1, but the cut down air for those two with that read length is actually very similar. And man, just a cut down sounds so good. I almost feel like birds respond a little bit better to those at times. That being said, I blow the cut down, no response, then I blow T1 and get the response. All right, blow the T1, wow, you're just hammering on nothing. Hit that cut down, all of a sudden, boom, those ducks' necks just whip around to look what's coming. So it's crazy, but they got some calls in here. That's kind of the main one I was looking at and seeing that they got that Flambeau Big River Long Honker. I used to have that call, actually could never blow it. I'm surprised they still make it, but it's cool. All right, moving on. Decoys, looking at they got the Flambeaus, they got the Dixie Decoys Memorial Decoy Urn. Okay, interesting. So inside, this is interesting. So this provides a unique and dignified means of honoring your retriever. Oh wow. Long after it passed on. Instead of simply including a vessel of ashes inside the body of the decoy, Dixie Decoys adapts their manufacturing process so that your memorial decoy urn is constructed of the ashes you provide. An engravable brass plate and 18 species to choose from, add personalized touches. Huh. Wow. So, man, I guess you could really use that instead of something, including a vessel of. Wow. That's pretty cool, man. I don't even know if you can access them. I think they put it inside of it when they built it, is what it kind of sounds like. But that's really cool. That really is. I already talked about getting the Dakota decoy decoys, and as far as mallards go, the painted ones that the packables. I was trying to think of that word too. My goodness, I'm brain dead this morning. I'm not brain dead. I am smart. They say you got to start speaking life over you. You know what? I'm going to remember what I was trying to say about those waders right now. And it's not working. All right, moving on. All right, they got some Mojos. They got the Mojo Light. It's just cheap and easy. It does look like they reconstructed the pole. It doesn't say nothing on here about that pole, but that pole looks different. Maybe they painted it. It looks like it's gold or like the color of the body of the mallard. Huh. All right. Next on retriever accessories, they got the Lucky Duck kennel. I've heard some people say they've seen it in person, doesn't look as good. Will I say I never use that one? No, I'm not going to say that because I definitely got to get stuff for the new pup. So I'm pretty sure I'm still going to buy a Gunner kennel, but I'm not going to buy the large because that's what, Rocky's so big. This male that I'm going to get when he's fully developed is only going to be 65 to 70 max. Probably more like 65. So I think it's the medium I'm going to get or the intermediate. The intermediate is what I'm going to get. So, yep. And they got Eukanuba. Yes, I still feed Rocky Eukanuba, the premium performance. The 30-20 blend. They do have the performance puppy. So that's what I need to stock up on that too. But hey, I'll tell you guys, give you a little word of advice. A good place if you want dog food and you want Eukanuba. I had been buying it from Amazon, but I actually save quite a bit going to Chewy.com. And let me go a little farther than that. Not just order it from Chewy whenever I need it, but if you get on their automatic shipping, auto ship, where they do, and you can tell them how I want it every week, I want it every 2 weeks, I want it every 5 weeks, I want it every 6 weeks. Or I think you can even tell them on what day of each month you want it. However you want it, you can set that up. And it saves you quite a bit, guys. Like enough to where there's no other place that sells it for that price. And it just automatically ships. You set an account with Chewy.com and you do it through there. And that's no sponsorship. That's just good information. So even if you don't want Chewy, even if you don't want Eukanuba food, you want something else, they do all dog foods. I'm telling you, it's cheaper than buying it anywhere else that I've found. As far as Costco, I don't know, but Costco is very limited on their dog foods, but you're not going to beat Chewy. And the fact that it comes right to your door, you don't ever have to go out. You save money. It's cheaper. It's free shipping. That's definitely the route that I want to go. In fact, Harrison's the one that told me that because I was like, yeah, I'm already buying it. He's all, no, you got to do the auto ship. You're saving a ton more. And I even saved more when I went from the 28-pound back to I believe it's the 35 or 40 for Eukanuba, 30-20. So I even saved more. And let me pull up Harrison's text because he sent me the screenshots of the difference in price. Let's see here, right here. Okay, so this one doesn't say what it was a pound, I don't think. So I was getting it from Amazon for $85.49, which is what Eukanuba is on the 28-pound backs on automatic ship. And I was getting free shipping. Sorry, got a phone ring. Give me a second. Forgot my ringer was on, boys. Sorry about that. Let me turn that off. All right. But, okay, so watch the difference in this. It's actually very significant. I'm getting the 40-pound bag for, okay, I was paying $3.22 a pound with the 28 the 28-pound bag, $3.22 a pound. I'm now paying $2.75 a pound. That's crazy. And the first time you set it up, you get even bigger discount. You get another 35% off. So his first bag of the 40-pound bag was the same price as the 28-pound bag. And then afterwards on the automatic ship, I'm saving 50 cents a pound of dog food. So 50 cents for 40 pounds, that's $20 I'm saving every bag, if I did the math right on that. Yeah, so 50 cents times 40, yeah, it's $20. So that's significant. And that's not just that way with you, Canoe, but if you want to feed him something else, you get the same deal. So anyways, I felt like that was a really good little tip and word of advice for you guys. All right, moving on. They got the Benelli Super Black Eagle 3. They got the 20 gauge. They got the 20 gauge and the 28 gauge. Love those guns. I haven't shot that one, but I have the Benelli Ethos Cordoba. The Mossberg 940 Pro Waterfowl actually looks pretty sick. I don't know how new that is, but it's 3-inch and it is a 12 gauge, and I guarantee you it's at a really fair round. I've heard good things about the Fab Arms. That one's on here. The Fab Arm XLR Chesapeake. That's 12 gauge, and they got it in 28 and 30-inch barrels. The Weatherby Sorex. I've been hearing really good things about that. We were supposed to get a couple of them last year, never ended up getting them. But they have that in 12 and 20 gauge, and the paint schemes are pretty sick. It's funny, they kind of did it, the darker colors similar to like their hunting rifles. But, they say those are like for rocks, environment, or water, open water, blue color type tint. And then they got the marsh colors too. So the Sorex looks pretty sick. Got the chokes, they got, the Carlsons, they got the kicks, Moeller. I vote Moeller, but whatever floats your boat. Then we got the ammo, and they got their number one on there as the Heavy 12 410, which is brand new this year, and it's going at what is it going at here? 1250 feet per second, which is money. And then it's 5-shot, and it's a half-ounce shot charge. I'm gonna kill some ducks. I'm getting the 410 next year before season, and I will be killing ducks with that too, with that ammo. But I'm not. It's definitely not gonna be my main gun. I'm sticking with the 28 and the 20, but I'm definitely gonna do it, and I will have full confidence with it. I guarantee you. On the right hunt, But if I wasn't shooting heavy shot, you say, what would you shoot, Titus? There's a lot of good ammos out there. I'd probably be shooting. I really feel like I'd be shooting Apex, honestly. If I wasn't shooting heavy shot, I would not be shooting Migra. And sorry if that irritates anybody or hurts anybody's feelings, but too many bad stories with Migra and too many misfires. And if you get the shells wet, they're done. And that's coming from a lot of people. You would be surprised. I'll just put it there. If it works for you, great. But I cannot have shells not firing when I squeeze the trigger. That would make me snap. And then I'd end up throwing my gun in the water, which wouldn't be the gun's fault. So, but I don't know. I feel like Apex is a really solid blend. The guys that shoot it have told me nothing but good about it. And I just feel like they take a lot of pride in their work. I don't believe they're very cheap either, honestly, but I like how they, I know they blend too. They blend different things, but I like the fact that they do blend TSS, so that's just nasty. And I think that's what my draws to it. Also, if I was just going to shoot still, try to save money, I would shoot Rios, probably, honestly. I shot Super X's for years, Winchester Super X's, and they worked fine, but I did have some misfires, did have the hole. The crimps won't be very good for my A5, and they would snag coming out trying to eject. So that's why I stopped shooting and started looking for other ammo, which helped us stumble on the heavy shot because I couldn't take that. That was driving me nuts. I was missing so many opportunities. But yeah, I think, if I wasn't shooting that, I'd be shooting Apex. And if I just wanted a good cheap still blend, I think I'd be shooting Rios. That's my little opinion. They got some Waiters. I meant to say waiters. I trying to say two different things at once, but they got waiters. They got the Sheen on here. They got Sitka. They got First Light. They got Banded, Lacrosse. So they got a lot of different variations that look pretty good. Everybody's going zip, man. When I look at some of these waders, I'm just shocked of how high they keep the zipper from the bottom of the crotch. You can't take a leak with your zipper up by your belly button, folks. You're still going to have to take your waders off your shoulders and roll them down. So what good is it doing you? Please check that before you buy them, because that is not cool. Moving on to Hunter's Life. Yeti is on here with the Yeti Rambler French press. I have two of those now. I have one for the house and one for the boat or the blind that I will be using, and I've got it dialed. If you get the 32 ounce, just let me give you a little heads up. They got a 32 ounce and a 64 ounce. I got the 32 ounce dialed, so this is what you do, okay? Get your little grinder. Well, that ain't going to help you guys much because I don't know what the grams are, but in the hand grinder I have is a little, I would say, let me think about this. Actually, I could tell you. I would say 1, 2. I'm going to say around 8 tablespoons, like an actual tablespoon, not like a measuring tablespoon, but an actually one bigger one that you use at the house. I would say for each one I put in to do this hand grinder, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the next one's 1, 2, 3, 4. So about 8 tablespoons. So if you use a different grinder, at least you know. But for the one I'm using, so I would say 8 to 10 tablespoons. Grind those up. Stick it in the French press. Okay. Then you put your hot water. Hot water in just enough to cover the grounds. Okay. Let it wait 30 seconds, which is letting that coffee bloom. It makes a difference. Wait 30 seconds after you pour that water in, just enough to cover the grounds. Wait 30 seconds. Then you fill it up, not all the way to the top. Leave it probably 2 inches from the top or whatever. You'll know. Put the lid on. Don't plunge it, obviously. Put the lid on, let it stay, and wait 9 minutes. Put your timer on 9 minutes. Plunge that bad boy and pour your coffee in. My. It is delicious. That is the perfect recipe for that one for me. So there's that. That's on here. They got the Turtle Box, which is pretty sick. It's I've never had one, but a lot of people speak good of it. It's the Turtle Box Gen 2 speaker. And that's pretty good. It's all waterproof. You can drop it in the water. It lasts about 25 hours, they say. Weighs about 10 pounds. It's pretty cool having music when you're picking up decoys after a good hunt. All right. I think that is it for this one. That's why I said, to me, I feel like this year there wasn't as much interesting or good stuff in this hunt annual this year. But I remembered the word, guys. I was trying to say neoprene. I said it. I can rest. I could have peace knowing I finally thought of it. So there's that. But yeah, there wasn't as much in this hunt annual this year, but it's cool. It's so hard. I can't remember the last season I have not purchased something. I don't know what that is or why that is. Do you need to do that? Do I need to? Absolutely not. Maybe I need to challenge myself next year to not buy anything and see if I can do it. But what's the fun in that, right? So I didn't mean to make this one actually this long, but there was kind of a lot of things I feel like I could help you guys out with. And then a lot of things that just little picking and choosing things that I thought was worth mentioning. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Thanks for tuning in. Please rate this podcast. There's thousands of you listening to this, and there's only like 300 5-stars on Spotify. It's like, guys, please, I don't ask much. Just go on there and tap 5 stars. When you're in the app on Spotify, I see how many people listen on Spotify. It's thousands. So please do me a favor. You open this episode and you're like, oh, this is cool. You open this episode and you're listening, click on the 5 stars on the rating. It's easy. It's right there. Rate the show. In fact, there's 3 little dots left of the gear wheel, or right of the gear wheel. You tap the 3 dots, you hit rate show. That easy. Let's get this thing up to like 500-600. I don't get it. Other podcasts that are less than me, well, the problem is I know they're telling people they're going to give them stuff if they do it. So maybe I need to coax you guys into it by giving you something free. That's what we'll try to do. So I'll see if I can work something up. Actually, I do have something in mind. The problem is you start doing gear and clothes, it's not one size fits all. So we'll figure something out. But if you just want to do it out of the kindness of your heart, that would be greatly appreciated. We'll see you guys in the next one.